So we're seeing in the Song of Three Holy Children, if you read from verse 22 to 30, about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, how it goes together right with the actual story of what happened when we started reading in Daniel, the 3rd chapter. Start at verse 19. Daniel 3 and 19.
Daniel 3 verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury.
He was full of fury. He got angry. They wasn't bowing down to no statue. Go ahead.
And the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Abednego. Right. Go ahead.
Therefore he spake.
These are Daniel's companions that we read about. Go ahead.
And commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated.
Yeah, man. He said heat it up 7 times stronger. Make it hot. Go ahead.
And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace.
So hey, he took his mightiest men and say, bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and put them in the fiery furnace. Go ahead.
Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
They were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace with all the clothes on. Go ahead.
Therefore, because the king commanded was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
The fire was so hot it killed the mighty men that he had to put them in the furnace. Go ahead.
And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
They fell down in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Remember, he heated it up 7 times hotter than it should have been. Go ahead.
And Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake, and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound in the midst of the fire?
Listen up just closer. Remember it said in the 3 holy children, it said in verse 26, but the angel of the Most High came down into the oven together with Azarias and his fellows and smoked the flame of the fire out of the oven. You read that. Now read.
And now we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?
Nebuchadnezzar said, wait a minute. We cast 3 men into the midst of the fire. Go ahead.
They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose.
What did he say?
I see 4 men loose.
He said, I see 4 men loose. Go ahead.
Walking in the midst of the fire.
Walking in the midst of the fire. Read.
And they have no hurt.
And they have no hurt. They have no hurt. They're not hurt. They're walking in the midst of the fire, but they're not hurt. He said, he'll save us from the midst of the fire. Go ahead.
And the form of the 4th is like the Son of the Most High.
There it is. And the form of the 4th is like the who?
The Son of the Most High.
Like the Son of the Most High. That you know. The form of Mashiach Yahushua. Right there with him. Who was he? He was an angel or a spirit of the Most High. Came down. Read.
Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake, and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High power.
See? Who he acknowledged? He acknowledged the Most High. Ye servants of the Most High power. We talking about his idols at this time? Nah. So you servants of the Most High power. Read.
Come forth.
Come forth. Go ahead.
And come hither.
And come here. Go ahead.
And Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came
Abednego
came forth of the midst of the fire.
So they came out of the midst of the fire. Go ahead.
And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men.
They saw these men. Read. And remember, his mighty men of his army is what? They're on the ground dead. They died from the heat of the furnace. He said, heated up 7 times more. Go ahead.
Saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power.
That's right. Go ahead.
Nor was a hair of their heads signed.
No hair was even burned. Go ahead.
Neither were their coats changed.
Neither were their coats changed. Come on.
Nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
Nor the smell of fire had even passed on them. They didn't even smell like smoke. They didn't even smell like fire at all. Hallelujah. That's the power we're talking about. That's the Most High. Wow, Mashiach Yahushai. Show Mashiach Yahushai. Go ahead.
Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the Most High power of Shadrach.
What did he say?
Blessed be the Most High power of Shadrach.
Blessed be the Most High power of Shadrach, read.
Meshach, and Abednego.
Abednego. And Abednego, read.
Who has sent his angel.
Has sent his angel, read.
And delivered his servants that trusted in him. And have changed the king's word. And yielded their bodies. That they might not serve nor worship any idol. Except their own powers most high.
We realize that, man. We don't serve nobody but the Most High Yahweh. Show Mashiach Yahushua. Go ahead.
Therefore, I make a decree.
This what Nebuchadnezzar did. He made a decree. And they know this. That's why I say he sold us to the most lawless enemies and forsakers of the Most High of the world. In our captivity that we're in now. What did Nebuchadnezzar do? Read.
Therefore, I make a decree. And every people, nation, and language which spake anything amiss against the Most High power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces.
Wow, he said anybody talk against the Most High, Yahweh, shall be cut in pieces. Go ahead.
And their houses shall be made a dunghill.
Their house is going to be used as a dunghill. They're going to take all the waste and put them, tear their house down. That's where they'll use it for the waste that come out of people. Go ahead.
Because there is no other power that can deliver after this sort.
Right, man. No other power that can deliver after this sort. Go ahead.
Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon.
There it is, man. Same thing happened to Joseph. He was promoted. The power of the Most High. You see the power of the Most High? It was exalted. Now go back to Isaiah 43 and 1. And that's what we're precepting from, what it said here.
Isaiah 43 verse 1. But now thus saith the Most High, Mashiach Yahushai, that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee.
He said he redeemed us. He have redeemed us. Go ahead.
I have called thee by thy name.
He called us by his name, man. By our name. Yahshua Allah. Go ahead.
Thou art mine.
We belong to a Mashiach Yahushai, as we have read. Now, he said, I have redeemed thee, I have called thee by thy name. Go ahead.
When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee.
So when you pass through the waters, he said he's going to be with us. Go ahead.
And through the rivers,
go ahead.
They shall not overflow thee.
That's it. Right there. Now go to 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. Start at verse 7. When he said, when we pass through the waters, he said he's going to be with us. When we pass through the rivers, they shall not overflow. They read this.
2nd Ezra 7, verse 7. The entrance thereof is narrow.
Verse 6.
2nd Ezra 7 and 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded.
A city is builded. Go ahead.
And set upon a broad field.
It's set upon a broad field. Go ahead.
And is full of all good things.
All good things. All plenties. plenteous for us. Go ahead.
The entrance thereof is narrow.
The entrance thereof is narrow. Very narrow. Read.
And is set in a dangerous place to fall.
Set in a dangerous place to fall. It's narrow and it's set in a dangerous place to fall. Read.
Like as if there were a fire on the right hand.
So there were a fire on the right hand. Go ahead.
And on the left a deep water.
And on the left a what?
A deep water.
So the fire is on the left. The fires is on the right hand, and the water is on the left hand. Go ahead.
And only one path between them both.
Right, so only one path, one way between them both, between this fire and water. And we learned that in St. John 14:6, Mashiach Yahushua said what? I am the way. He's the path. To teach us the truth, which is following the Most High's laws, to lead to everlasting life. Read.
And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water.
Only one path between the fire and the water. Because you fall in the fire, you get burned up. You fall in the water, you're going to get drowned. Go ahead.
So small that there could but one man go there at once.
Only one man going to go at once. That's why we all going to be held accountable for our actions. And all going to meet the judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua. It's not going to fail. It's not going to fail. But we all going to meet that judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua. Go ahead.
If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it.
It's dangerous. But you know it's not easy. It's going to be dangerous. If we don't pass the danger that's set before us, go ahead.
How shall he receive this inheritance?
How shall he receive this inheritance? How are we going to receive this inheritance without the danger that we got to go through, the chastisement of the Most High, getting us right, dipping us in the fiery furnace of affliction so we can get right. You know, chastising us to show his love for us. So how are we gonna go through this? How are we gonna get there if we don't want to go through what it takes to get there? You know? Read.
And I said, it is so, Most High, Wahamashiach Yahushua. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
Right, he said, this is our portion. So we got to go through. We got to go through the perils, the dangers, and the afflictions, being refined. You know, being made to be better, made to be righteous, to make it to the kingdom. Go ahead.
Because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that is now done.
Right. When Adam transgressed the statutes of the Most High, you know he had the laws. Then was decreed what's happening right now. When we die, he said, you eat of the tree of good and evil, you shall die. You transgress what the Most High said. Say he made us righteous. All you need to know is how to be righteous. You don't need to know about this evil. But now you want to know about the evil? I'll give it to you. Now you're going to die. If you say the day you eat of that tree of good and evil, you're going to die. That's why we die now. Read.
Then were the entrances of this world made narrow.
Then was the entrances of the world made narrow. We just went over that. Read.
Full of sorrow and travail.
Full of sorrow and travail. That's why we go into the kingdom. We said we're going to have rest. No more tears. No more sadness. No more reproach. Nobody's going to disgrace us anymore. They will call us the city of holiness. Read.
They are but few and evil.
The days are what?
Few and evil.
Few and evil. Go ahead.
Full of perils.
Full of dangers. Go ahead.
And very painful.
And very painful. Read.
For the entrances of the elder world were wide and short.
The entrance of the elder world, the world before we come on the earth, was wide and short. Go ahead.
And brought immortal fruit.
And brought immortal fruit. We're supposed to live forever in the beginning. He brought forth immortal fruit. Read.
If then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them.
So if you're not willing to go through the straight and vain things that we're going through, because it's worthless. Vain means good for nothing that we're going through. In evil times, the most evil times that ever have been in this world, then you're not worthy to receive the thing that's laid up for us, that's prepared for us. Read.
Now therefore, why disquietest thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal?
Yeah. You know, but he said, we know but a corruptible man. So why you moved? You know but a mortal man. Go ahead.
Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come?
Letting Ezra know, man, this is something that's in the future. That's where it's going to be, read.
Rather than that which is present.
Rather than that which is present. What you see as present, Ezra, is nothing compared to what I'm going to show you. When you go through the books of Ezra, man, when he showed them, man, it was like danger, danger, danger. The whole 9 yards, all the way to the point of Mashiach Yahushua coming back, and they prepared to fight him, and he's going to burn them up with nothing but dust and smell of smoke. That's it. He covered it all. All the nations would get together to fight Mashiach Yahushua. He covered it all. He showed the racial wars, all of that. People going to be going in the houses, you know, fighting for the lack of food, great tribulation, guns in their hands, robbing people. Read.
Then answered I and said, O Most High, one Mashiach Yahushua, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the unrighteous should perish.
Right. The righteous should obtain these things, but the unrighteous should perish. Read.
Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things.
See, the righteous gonna suffer straight things, like they always have. Read.
And hope for wide.
And hope for the wide. Remember it said the narrow, the wide. We said for the entrance in verse 13, for the entrance of the elder world were wide and sure. We hoping for that wide again. But now we got to go through the narrow. Read.
For they that have done wickedly have suffered straight things, have suffered the straight things.
If those that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things. Go ahead.
And yet shall not see the wide.
Shall not see the wide. That's the kingdom that we're waiting on. With plenteous. Where we lack nothing. No sadness. No criminals. No worries. No problems. No tears. Go ahead.
And he said unto me, there is no judge above the Most High, and none that hath understanding above the highest.
That's right, man. Nobody's mind above the Most High. Go ahead.
For there be many that perish in this
He
life.
said there be many that going to perish in this life. Read.
Because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them.
Because they despise the law of the Most High that's set up before them. We got to follow the law. We ain't got to follow the law. Or they make up their own laws. They come up, they want the Bible, they misled about how they trying. People are trying, brothers are trying to include what it is that this so-called white man has come up with and try to include that into the truth. Try to make the truth, looking for scripture to make what he has is going under, validate him and what they believe in according to the Bible, using scripture to back up what he's saying and how he have us thinking. And we've been programmed to the utmost. You're born in the world, I don't care how old you are, you ain't old enough to know that we were born into a world that's set up to send us straight to hell. Okay, how you look at it. That's why you have to humble yourself and have with a broken contrite spirit and accept it all. Because when we so many people that when we put to death. So I read verse 20 again.
2nd Ezra 7 and 20. For there be many that perish in this life.
Many gonna perish in this life. Read.
Because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them.
Because they despise the law of the Most High that's set before them. Prideful, arrogant, jealous, envy, all of that. Don't even want to know the laws of the Most High. You ask them about the laws, we learning the laws, pretty soon they're going to be asking people about this or that, they don't even know. You'll be surprised. They're not going to know. Because they're not, we just like we study and going over these lessons on Wednesdays and Fridays. When we come Saturday, we just go concentrate on that law. We'll see we reviewing that, you're going to come to a higher level of seeing how it all come together. Read.
Verse 21. For the Most High hath given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live.
The Most High gave straight commandment to all them that came on this earth, that was born on this earth, what they should do to what?
To live.
To live, man. He gave straight commandments of what everybody should do to live. Read.
Even as they came.
Even as they came. We came on this earth, didn't we? So he gave straight commandment of what we should do to live, even as they came. He already said, teach the parents supposed to teach the children the commandments of the Most High. But here we are now looking at, come on, come back to his laws. Nah, I ain't got to do that. They got us so dumbed down, we don't even want to read. Keep something from us, put it where? In the book. That's what we've been doing all night, is reading. So we got to get used to reading again. Read.
And what they should do, and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
What we should observe to do what?
To avoid punishment.
Well, people now, you talking about they ain't talking about no avoid no punishment. They talking about prosperity. You don't have it now. That's what we're talking about. We got now. You got now, people that's going to burn up in the fire that's prepared for you. This ain't no now for us. So what's prepared for us? When you got it now, what's prepared for you?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's right. But the hell fire, the lake of fire, you got it now. Read.
Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him.
See, they wasn't obedient. We didn't follow the Most High's law, such commandments. We didn't want to follow what he said. Read.
But spake against him.
Spake against the Most High, like they're doing right now. Speaking against the Most High, shall come with their own doctrines and so forth, and dismissing the doctrine that of old that the Most High gave us. In other words, nobody had the Holy Spirit, so these young cats come on the scene now. Now they got the Holy Spirit. Everything that of the past wasn't, I mean, he just starting right now to bring forth the truth into the world. In 2012, are you serious? You can't be serious. You can't be serious thinking of that, with that thinking. I'm like, man, what's going on here? Read.
But spake against him and imagined vain things.
Yeah, spake against him and imagined vain things, things that's worthless, because it's not nothing that's the power, the spiritual power that the Most High endowed us with. Brothers just getting information. They got a little information, and now they done went out there and say now they got all that they need. And there's so many mysteries that has not been revealed because they haven't traveled. You haven't traveled. You're not going to get it just being here. And if you haven't, then you got to look at those that have traveled. You got to look at what it is that's out there in the world. What's in the world? The world, Most High said the earth will open up her mouth to help the woman, to help us, to understand what we need to know and the things that's been hidden from us, mysteries. And that's done that. Read.
And deceive themselves by their wicked deeds.
Deceive themselves by their wicked deeds. Now, one wicked deed that's being done is this division. That's wicked. Most High ain't going to not divided. Now, a brother trying to make it to the kingdom, they spend more time dealing with making videos and doing the things that they're doing, or whatever they're doing, speaking against brothers that's trying to make it, instead of Creflo Dollar, T.D. Snakes, Reverend Price, and all the rest of these pork chop eating preachers that's just milking our people and not teaching them anything as they should know. You know what I mean? Why spend all that time dealing with Israelites? I mean, I can sit here and just go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, to show that they're not dealing with the brotherhood that needs it. And love that neighbor thyself, to show you that you're not going to make it. It's sad, but you're not going to make it. That's what he had to come and show us. It's about loving the Most High with all our heart, mind, and strength, and loving thy neighbor thyself. That's what it's all about. Caring about each other. We look, some brothers look at the game, the nations. They more into the nations, bring the nations amongst us rather than the children of Israel together. That's why we destroy. Read that again now.
Second Esdras 7, verse 23. And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways.
Right, man. So, do you understand how they're saying that the Most High is not? When the Mashiach came to show us how we're supposed to deal with each other in love, in righteousness, and being together and not divided. So, brothers say, I deal with a lot of brothers and sisters. Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'll build with anyone. Israel, man, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Building with our brothers and sisters. Showing love to our brothers and sisters. There's enough hate. You know, brothers ain't live long as I live. They don't know what, they don't have a clue of what I've been through. Right now, you hating on your brothers, you off. When you go down, the Most High gonna make sure that you gonna know that you off. Because we don't even have each other. And when it goes down and you by yourself, and you wonder where the help at, you ain't gonna be able to find no help. Because you ain't tried to come together with brotherhood to bring all of us together as a nation. That's what, did Mashiach Yahushua die for Israel? Or did he just die for a part of Israel? Just I know it's 1/3, but everybody I know that's coming to a Hebrew Israelite consider themselves as at least one of the 1/3, right? So he died for all of us. That's the law. That's a big law that they're not really looking at, that they're going to have to pay a price for, a deep price for, when you don't love your people. How can you love somebody you don't know, and then you don't love the ones that you do know? That you know are, I'm not saying that you don't have to know us personally, but you do know that we're striving to make it to the kingdom like you are striving to make it to the kingdom. And when you hate on someone that's striving to make it to the kingdom as you are, and have passed from that darkness, the gross ignorance of the world, and not knowing who they are. At least they know they're Israelite, they know what these laws. You said that you got brothers just sitting there just trying to nitpick everything about how you're not going. And you're not going because you're not holier than me. I'm the holiest thing in the world. Give me a break. You know what I mean? That's like who haven't sinned and comes short of the glory of the Most High, and that's what they're doing. They hate the Most High. You hate the Most High because get 1 John 4. Hold that. Now go and finish this. Finish this, right? We can come back there.
Second Ezra 7,
24
and 24. But his law have they despised.
His law have they despised. That's a law. To love thy neighbor as thyself. Go ahead.
And denied his covenants.
Denied his covenants. Because the covenant with who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You got brothers bringing in all these other nations. But the covenant surely is only and truly is only with Israel. In Jeremiah 31:31 down and Hebrews 8:8 down. Read it for yourself. It's to Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, not these other nations. But they trying to bring the other nations in. Or they can be a spiritual. They got a spiritual covenant, a spiritual Israelite. Can I be a spiritual white man, a spiritual Chinese, Japanese? How you gonna be spiritual Israelite? You know, that's senseless, man. They have their plight and their fight that they gotta go through in the kingdom, and we have ours. We just read it in Isaiah 14:1. They're gonna come and be servants and handmaids. They're gonna be slaves, just like we're slaves now. Understand this. You got a social security number, you work a job, you went to school, they taught you how to be a good slave. They teach you entrepreneurship, they show you how to have your own company. But people working for you, you're a good slave. Everybody's a good slave at work. And they take taxes out of our money. Then at the end, around April the 15th, you got to give you April the 15th to file your taxes. Now they got the Obamacare. They said they hired 16,500 IRS agents to come after you if you don't want to get it. Make sure you get it. If you don't have no Medicare or nothing like that, beware.